Welcome back to Inside South Florida. If you're going to have an estate sale or you just need a certified auctioneer to help you move your stuff, we may have found your guy. Here is Stacey Giulianti with exclusive Gavel to tell you why, well, you may need him. Check it out. Stacey, it's great to have you on the show. How you doing?
I'm doing terrific. Thank you very much for having me on your show.
It's exciting to have you here. It's, I think, a pretty cool topic. We haven't really talked about this in a long time on this show, really ever, actually. So great. Let's do it. Exclusive Gavel. What's it all about?
Exclusive Gavel is an auction company. We work with a number of other galleries as well, consignment shops, auction companies. I'm a licensed auctioneer in the state of Florida. You have to be licensed to auction in the state of Florida. And so we connect individuals, attorneys, accountants, people who have estate items, and we get them the best bang for their buck is what we do.
So do you actually do the auctioneering, or you sort of farm that out to people?
I do an auction. There are other auctions. Obviously, you can't do so many. We typically do one every other Wednesday. We do one every Friday. There's another auction house that I auction for, and we typically do it every other Saturday. So I can't possibly auction all the time, although I can certainly give you some dates as to when I'm going to go out there, and you can see me kind of rustle people up in the crowd. It's enjoyable. But I also refer to other auctioneers that work with in our network. Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you to do the whole bit. Do people ask you to do that?
They absolutely do. We do a little bit of the chant. Yeah, you get taught the chant. It's called the chant, and it's funny because sometimes the words mean something. Sometimes you say shoulda, coulda, woulda, and or things that have some type of meaning. One of our professors would say, 5 babe, 5 babe, and we said, what are you saying in between? And he slowed it down. And what he was saying was hot buttered babe. It means absolutely nothing. It's probably inappropriate, but he said that in order to get the go from one number to the next, and it's something that gets people involved and excited to put the next
So you
bid.
Just say gibberish in between the actual meaningful sentences.
In those types of auctions, yes. There are some auctions where you're auctioning off something that's a $100,000 painting, which we've worked at, or $200,000 diamond, and that type of audience doesn't want to hear you spouting gibberish.
Right.
But lower priced items, you're trying to build up excitement, and you're trying to get the sellers the most money.
All right, so what would be some of the reasons why people might call you? An estate auction, I would imagine?
That's
right?
Yes. An estate auction is typically where somebody passes away. Unfortunately, people die, and when they do, their children or their spouses are left with a lot of property. And so we'll come in and we'll determine what the best place for those items are, how to sell them, and how to get the most money for an individual. Some other areas might be someone gets divorced, and the court requires them to sell off a number of assets to pay their former spouse. It could be where you just are moving. Some people are moving, especially in South Florida, from a large house to a smaller condo or an apartment, and they have some items they want to get rid of, and we can help with that.
So the appraisal process, who determines that? You?
We take a look at what you have, and there are different reasons for appraisal. Do you want an appraisal because you're shipping it across the country? Do you want an appraisal for an IRS reason? Or do you want just an estimate of a value because you want us to auction it?
Right.
There are different reasons and different types of appraisals, and then we're able to take that, look at our database, identify the item as authentic, and give you a value for it.
All right, so you come in, and then how do people find out about this? Like, is there a lot of marketing in terms of, hey, estate sale, next week? Are you responsible for getting people to come out, or what?
There's a couple of things. We have a list of over probably 10,000 people that have come to our various auctions. That's number one. So normally in an auction, we'll have between 100 and 250 live people at the auction. But nowadays, all auctions are also simultaneously on the internet. And I'm not talking about eBay, I'm talking about actual internet sites that cater. So let's say you're looking for lovely blue shirts to buy.
This one, 8 cents, by the way.
Okay, 8 cents. Well, there you go.
I think I got ripped off, too.
Well, we won't talk about that. But no, it looks great. But you'll go out and you'll have an alert that says, I'm looking for blue shirts. Or I'm looking for pocket squares.
Come on.
As Dave talked about on the way, and we were talking before. But you might be looking for pocket squares or blue shirts. It'll alert you when those items come up for auction. So not only are we live, but all of our clients' items are also on the internet.
So that's a hard job, right? I mean, because you're talking fast, you're saying hot buttered babe, you're scanning the room, you're doing all these things, and now not only do you have people that you're looking at over here, but now you got the online component too. Do you have help when you're doing this?
Absolutely. For each individual online, and we're on 3 different online auctioneer sites, each one has their own clerk running it, which will raise their paddle, so I'll know that that individual on the internet has registered a bid and has gone one higher than the existing bid. But also, there are live people. You can't see everything. I wear glasses, which I'm not wearing right now, so I have help. I have spotters. And a spotter will yell, will say, "Yip," and they'll point to that side where the paddle is raised, and I'll be able to see that, because I can't see everything.
I bet you there's been drama. Right? I bet you someone's come in and said, "What? My hand was up. You didn't see me."
All the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
What do you do? Fight it out?
Normally I'll go out. I'm part Italian, so I'm just kidding. I'm just
Oh.
Hey now, sorry about that. Well,
you don't want this
sir,
painting.
yeah. But normally what happens is the auctioneer under Florida law has the ability to open the auction back up. So if I close out a bid and there was a bid that I missed, I can reopen it and restart the bidding. Typically, though, you don't want to do that too often, because if somebody isn't raising their hand loud enough or isn't making it known, they've lost that, and you want to go on to the next person.
Right. All right, so we're joking around having fun, but sometimes this could be a pretty serious and sad manner, right? I mean, like you said earlier, people passed away, so you come in, you got to be sensitive to that, right?
You have to be sensitive, and not only am I a licensed auctioneer, but I'm a licensed attorney in the state of Florida for over 20 years. And so having been a trial lawyer, having been in front of judges, there are times when a judge will say, these items must get sold. It's a serious matter. And although while we're auctioning items, we bring humor into it to build up and get the seller the most money, when a judge tells us to do something, or when there's some kind of court order, or whether an individual needs to move up north for a job and has to sell their items, it's a very serious business. So we take seriously our role in getting them the most that we can, in getting in there, looking at their items, and finding out, frankly, what is sellable, what's not sellable, and some items they may just want to give away for charity. Depends on all of these various factors.
So before we go, why you? I mean, you have a huge personality, obviously, but why hire you or somebody else? If a blue shirt is a $40 shirt, like what's in your bag of tricks that make this shirt a $60 shirt?
Typically, there isn't really any tricks. It's not about tricks, but what it is making sure that you get 40 for it and not 15 for it. Because most places that you go, you'll try to sell it on eBay, somebody might rip you off. You'll try to sell it retail, you're not going to get the value for it. So what you want is someone who's going to get you what it's worth. We don't profess to get you more than what it's worth.
Gotcha.
But we profess to make sure that you are not getting less. You are getting, at auction, the market value for that piece. And that's because people in the audience and people on the internet all over the world are competing for that particular item, and you're going to get the best price.
All right, how do people find you?
They can find us at Exclusive Gavel, www.exclusivegavel.com. They can call us at 1-888-989-GAVEL. They can send us an email at info@exclusivegavel.com. That's pretty much it.
All right. Well, listen, making the pocket square look good, my friend.
Doing my best.
It's good to see you.
Thank you. Nice seeing you again.
You got it.